Oh, it is time to kick off the 2026-27 campaign of Humboldt All-Axess. I'm JB Mathers. Could not be more excited about the Lumberjack world of athletics, which we're going to bring you all year long. Action-packed show today. We're going to start things off talking soccer with Grant Landy shutting it down. The final campaign, the Jacks are #2 preseason poll. They were going to be spiking, bumping, doing it all over the nets with Coach Spoja. We've got Ethan and Coach Jungemann. It's Humboldt All-Axess. Well, I think it's only fitting kicking off this season of All-Axess with the one and only Grant Landy. Coach, appreciate you stopping by. Obviously, you've made some waves before the season started, announcing this will be your final season coaching here at Humboldt. What brought you to said decision?
I mean, mostly just wanting to be back in Oregon, closer to family. You know, I think that's the biggest thing for me. My wife lives there right now. Parents getting older, and
yep.
My 2 sons are close in Portland, so just feels like the right time. And then 30 was like 30 years is kind of a big round number, so it just felt like the right time.
Do you think you mentioned me out there, you still got to work. Unfortunately, you haven't hit that golden ticket yet. Do you see coaching at any level, maybe just trying something completely different, administrative, as you've got this chance, you've had success and a chance to reflect? What does post-soccer look like from a working capacity?
Yeah, that's a good question. If you know the answer, let me know.
I'm sure you've been asked plenty of times.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I kind of feel like I owe it to myself to try to do something different for a year and just kind of see how I feel about that. But you never say never to anything, right?
Of course.
And I have a lot of people that I've worked with, fellow coaches, colleagues, club coaches. I mean, I know a lot of people in the Northwest, and so it'll be interesting to see what becomes available, but I think in a perfect world, maybe I try something different for a year.
Well, one of my favorite questions to people, if you weren't doing this for a career, what would you do? So just something completely away from soccer and schooling, what do you think you'd be doing?
I want to do what you do.
Okay, there we go.
Fun to, I being on camera and having these conversations over the years, both here and when I was at Concordia, I think I have some knowledge that maybe in the college game I could be a resource for that, and so that's something I've thought about. But I have other things that are completely non-sports related that I like to do.
Give us one.
Music.
Okay.
Yeah, I love music. I'm not very good at it, but I love that industry. And
are you a guitar player, piano guy, drums, singer?
I can play a little bit of. I can do everything a little bit. Okay. Not very well, but I really do enjoy music. So we'll see.
Coaching the Destroyers, coming to a bar near you. Well, I definitely agree. I think you'd be great at the media side of things, whether that's covering the games and doing that, or just interviews with coaches and players, because you actually know what's going on. There would be a huge help. With that said, going on, preseason poll just came out. Jacks #2 in the poll. Not going to sneak up on anybody, Coach.
No, the first year I was here was awesome. I think we were picked like 12th out of 12 teams. There wasn't a lot of pressure, but this is fun just to be in the conversation, right? And hopefully our team doesn't read too much into this. It's a long season, and we haven't even started games that mean anything yet. And so it's nice to be recognized, but it's really what happens at the end of the year that's important.
Yeah, we saw that last year. You guys kind of, you could say slow start, tough schedule. Moral of the story is you finished strong. So what did you take from last year to, not to repeat, but try to take it as a learning lesson, move forward? And of course, this team's going to have to put their own story together.
Of course. I think you want to be hitting your stride as a group and playing your best soccer in the last month. I mean, that's for every team, because that's where the money meets the road, so to speak. And sometimes you have those years where you start really hot, and there's those downturns, and you're hoping that you're healthy and playing well at the end. And those two things have to happen in order to be in the conversation at the end.
How many players are back from last year's squad?
Oh, I think we have 19 or 20.
Okay,
so
wow,
quite,
it's a lot
quite
of
a few.
experience.
Yeah, I mean, we lost a lot of seniors that were really important to us, but we also played a lot of players last year, so a lot of the ones who are younger do have a good experience. And so far, I think the vibe's been good, the mentality's been good. Our first, exhibition, there were some things that we did really well, and so we're just trying to build off that.
You can't get to, October, November in August. So with that said, and as a veteran coach, what are the goals right now, not looking forward, but to accomplish, in camp, preseason, before school starts. So hopefully, you know, when you're in that meat and potatoes CC2A schedule, you can work towards hitting full stride.
Yeah, I think our unity is number one. We have to all be on the same page, so they're developing those relationships now. And then our mentality.
Okay.
Our mentality has to be, good habits built in practice, and be competitive, for 90 minutes in the games. I mean, those are all the things that we're asking them to do.
What is going to be, from an X's and O's standpoint, and then a leadership standpoint, what's going to be really hard to replace with those seniors you did lose?
Yeah, the experience. I mean, experience matters. We're not as experienced collectively as a group as we were last year, but I really like the group so far, and there's great opportunity for the younger players in this year's team, and we have some good ones, and so just watching them already grow a little bit, so the sophomores that were freshmen last year and got a little taste of what it was like have come back and been really confident so far, and so it's hard to replace a lot of those seniors I had for 4 and 5 years. It's hard to replace that right away, and so this is a group that we want to kind of see that same growth.
All right, with that said, school starts next week. They get to be professionals for at least a few more days.
Yeah.
What are the expectations, and then what best advice do you, after all these years, what's the best advice you give the student athletes heading into class time?
Yeah. Well, we were fortunate this year. Our season started, a year earlier because of the calendar year falling on a festival year, and so we got 2 weeks of preseason without school. That's really been key for us. So next week's going to be challenging for them because they're just going to be getting into their classes, and then we start our season, where games matter. So as you get older, as an athlete in college, you learn to compartmentalize things. Okay. And so it's going to take a little bit of time for our younger ones to figure out, hey, it's class time, it's soccer time, it's travel time, but they've always done an excellent job of it.
Time management, I know I'm still working on it. Coach, thank you, and good luck this season. We'll see a lot of you.
Okay, sounds good.
Back after these messages. Volleyball time is here. Coach Spoja joining us. Coach, appreciate it as always. Year number 5 now?
Going into 5.
What's it like? 5 deep now in as a Lumberjack?
Our time here has been great, and it's been a lot of building, as you know, just trying to really get this program going, and lucky enough this year to have 15 returners. So I think this is the first time that has happened, and I think it's going really well.
It's got to be huge. Talking to yours, Coach Benno Jackson, she was talking about it's nice having players back because you don't have to explain the little things like you did in year 1. The veterans can let you know, okay, this is how we eat, this is what you wear,
Yep.
This is what coach expects, and you can stick to the X's and O's. Does that hold true?
Yeah, it holds very true. I actually was just thinking how easy preseason felt in our double days, because last year we had 11 freshmen, and getting them on the same page was difficult, but now we only have a couple, and and all of our returners are kind of holding the line and keeping them in check, and so it's been nice.
Is that the biggest jump from freshman to sophomore to junior to senior? Where do you see the most growth?
I'd say sophomore to junior.
Okay.
We have seen the most growth. It's perfect with Grayson. Grayson's been with us now for this, it will be her senior year, and we've had her all of that time, and her biggest jump was sophomore to junior, and now she's just really just figuring out the finesse of the game, because she's very powerful, and so she's learning different things about the game, different shots, things like that, but her biggest growth was between her sophomore and junior year.
So what's it like in this day and age where kids can be so transient, let's put it, with portals, this, that, and the other? How much is a player going to gain from actually just staying put and absorbing, one program, opposed to, again, having to learn those new things every year? To me, it would be tough. It's like you couldn't take a master's class if you were taking your beginning courses every 4 years.
Well, I think that our core group, we said the 15 returners, understand that, and they knew they were coming here to help build, and so they have been just digging their heels in and going hard, and they have a lot of grit, and so I think that they understand that. So we didn't have a kid in the portal last year, not one.
Wow.
So they understand that, and they want to build something here. They want to leave a legacy, and I don't think you can do that if you're jumping from the portal from year to year.
You know, with that, one thing I always hear from all your players, how much they love playing for you. Why is that? Because clearly it's true.
Well, I mean, you know, what you see is what you get. So I think that in a time when, you know, social media is huge and you see something on social media that it's totally different behind the scenes, they maybe have grown up with that, but that is not me. You know, I'm not for everybody, but what you see is what you get. You know where you stand. You know what you need to work on. I think that our staff does a great job of being open and honest and also caring and loving to our team when they need it. There's a time to be tough and there's a time to be nurturing, and finding that happy medium I think is really important.
You know, I was listening to some sports talk radio the other day, and they were talking about Jalen Hurts and how he's so mature because the team can post what he wants on social media, and it just got me thinking, what role, and we could do a whole master's class on this probably, but if you can in a soundbite, what role has social media played in recruiting and coaching for athletics?
Oh, I mean, it's huge. I mean, kids are, you know, they want to get noticed, and so they're tagging us in all of their posts. All of these players have their regular, you know, Instagram and then their volleyball Instagram, and you kind of, you know, it's just, it's huge. But also it can be a deterrent for coaches as well if things are on their social media aren't great, right? Because you wouldn't recruit that person if their character didn't match what you were looking for.
So what advice do you give your players about what they post?
Keep it
or
clean.
do you?
I do.
Okay.
I say if Sister Teresa herself cannot look at it, then please don't post it.
Okay, do you get the extra 2 weeks or the 2 weeks camp like Grant was just telling us because of the calendar? Okay, that's good.
Yep,
How have you taken
nice.
advantage of that, and what is camp like for these players?
Yeah, it's been great this year because having the extra time. I always think that we are, you know, in the CCAA or Division II, we get more injured, we have more things happen because they don't have the lead up time that Division I has. And just having the extra practice time has been really good. It's allowed us to take it slow, not to over jump, not to over swing, to have like time to work on specific skills and bring, you know, the couple of people that are new to our team up to where we are. So I've loved having the extra time. We have our last double day is actually today because we have a scrimmage tomorrow. So,
jumping right into it. With that said, we rounded out 15 players, some new faces, only so many spots to play out there. Between the exhibition, the preseason, when do you expect to have, you know, your core group and who you're going to be playing and who rotating in and out on a consistent basis?
Yep, we are working on a lineup now. We're pretty close. However, that changes. You know,
Live bullets change things, right?
It does, it changes. So we take stats every day, and we have our first, second, third options. And every day, an athlete has a chance to move up that list. So again, they know where they stand, right? And I think that that's really important, transparency.
Love it, Coach. Well, appreciate it and look forward to an exciting season and talking to you as the season rolls on, and go Jacks.
Okay, go Jacks.
Back after these messages. Oh, pleasure now. Our first player of the new season, Ethan Gyenis. Get it right. How did I screwed up the name?
Gyenis.
There you go. See, and it's Hungarian?
Yep.
But you're the Arcata product.
Yep.
All right, what's it like going from Arcata to get right across the 101 and be a Lumberjack?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really blessed. I'm really lucky to be here. I'm really excited that I get to support the place I grew up in and all the people that have helped me get here. And, you know, they're all here and they all get to come to my games and stuff. So I'm just very grateful for all that.
Yeah, it's got to be exciting. What did you know about Humboldt soccer? I mean, Humboldt State soccer back in the day, now Cal Poly Humboldt. And when did it get on your radar screen as, you know, a goal of yours?
Yeah, from a pretty young age. I used to do ID camps here.
Okay.
All the way back when I was like 14, you know, 15, stuff like that. So it's always been a dream of mine to play here. And to make that happen, I'm very lucky.
So obviously, Coach Jungemann's been here, I think, 13 or 14 years. So going back with him, can you recall the first conversation you had with Coach, and then the first time you guys discussed the possibility of you being a Lumberjack?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first time I spoke with him was at an ID camp, and we really didn't talk about too much because even at that point, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it here. But I talked to him. I did pretty well in the ID camp, and that was the first time I talked to him. I also played against Cal Poly Humboldt when I went to my junior college when I was playing for Mendocino. And after those 2 years, I went on a visit and decided to come here.
What was that process like, going to be a Screaming Eagle down in Ukiah? Did you always have Humboldt in the back of your mind? Or obviously, you know, when you go junior college, there are a lot of options out there for that next step.
Yeah, for me, Humboldt was always my number one. It's the place I grew up, and it's always a place I wanted to represent. So talking to Fred, he eventually gave me the option, and I followed through with it.
And it's probably pretty nice too. You know, sometimes you don't appreciate what you have until you go somewhere else. And I'd imagine, you know, nothing against Ukiah, but if I was in Ukiah, I'd be pretty excited about getting back to Arcata.
Yeah, me too. Ukiah was very hot, but I mean, without them also, I don't think I would be able to make it back here. So.
All part of the process. Okay, what was it like when Fred called you and told you to get your nod? So you, of course, you're excited about that. But what, you know, what is he asking you to bring to this team?
Yeah, I mean, just goals. That's, you know, that's what I'm going to need to be here for, and just continuing to be big. You know, use my body, be fast, and just help out the team whenever I can. And on defense, it's going to be very important for me too. And hopefully this season, going against these big teams, I'll be able to score some goals and help out the team whenever I can.
What has camp been like for the Jacks? You guys get the extra week, an extended camp, which is great. Just really focus on, you know, soccer, the relationships, and you don't have to worry about homework and class and that sort of stuff. What are your thoughts early on camp?
Yeah, we've been doing double days a lot, so it's been, you know, it's been very hard, but luckily we have a very, very close team, so we all support each other, and if one of us get hurt, you know, we all try to bring him back up. If one of us aren't doing well, we, you know, always check on him, make sure he is able to come back, and, you know, next day he's coming back with more energy or whatever. So it just feels really good. It's like a close family. So.
You talked about your success, scoring goals, helping out on defense. For this team to be successful this season, what do the Jacks need to do to take that next step?
Just work together, the biggest thing. I feel like as long as we can just play well together and be able to find up links up top and be able to transition fast, we're going to have a very good chance of doing well this season. We have a lot of very talented players, in my opinion, and this it's a very good culture we're having to be made. So I think we have a really good chance as long as we, you know, have the intensity and able to just hold each other to a good standard. We're going to do well.
What's the key to the preseason making the most of it? Because the CC2A schedule does start early. Some Coach Spoja talked about in this league that it's just, it seems like there's not a lot of warm-up time for when it's you know, the ones that count.
Yeah. We've got we don't have a lot of practices. Even though we're doing 2 every single day, this is our last week. We're going to be allowed to do that before school. Once school starts, it's only, you know, we're going to have to be focusing on school, and we're going to have 1 practice a day, and then our season's going to start. So we have a game next Thursday, and that'll be our first game for our record. So we come out good on that, and then hopefully we can bring that into the season and have a good start to our season.
What advice will you give the freshmen or just the newcomers on the team, not only about balance, school, playing, and to new guys who've never been a Humboldt before? Because let's be honest, there's an adjustment period for life behind the redwood curtain too.
Yeah, big time. The biggest thing is just making sure you can get your schedule good. We don't have a lot of time to do, you know, a lot of other things. So making sure you have times in the day, you know, you can sit down, do your homework, do in the library, go to practice, and then after practice also be able to do recovery. It's a very, very packed day. So just making sure you kind of talk to the coaches, make sure you're feeling good, and then from there just be able to practice at your best.
School's going to start pretty soon. What are you getting a degree in? What are you majoring in, Ethan?
I'm doing business management right now.
Smart man.
So.
Smart man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Hey, appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Long overdue.
Yeah, big time.
The local right here. He's back. Go Jacks. Back with Coach Jungemann after these messages on Humboldt All-Axess. Last and definitely not least, Fred Jungemann. Coach, appreciate it as always. Year number?
This is the start of 14.
Woo! As you reflect back, I know you're not reflecting right now as you're moving forward, but if you can for a moment, what's it been like? You think about that young, pup-eyed Fred Jungemann coming from South Florida to Arcata, California. reality versus what you thought you were getting into?
How much time do we got for this show? Yeah, he wasn't a young pup, but yeah, that 14 years has kind of gone by in a blink of an eye. Honestly, it feels like got here a couple weeks ago, and it's all been a blur. But yeah, there's definitely an education to life in Humboldt and what it takes to be successful here, and it's a grind sometimes, but it's also some really amazing stuff, like hanging out with you on the golf course.
Exactly. So, both our beers got a little grayer too over the years.
Yes, Humboldt did that too. I'm blaming Humboldt.
I like that. I like that as well. Same. With that said, also a blessing, Fred, to get to do this for 14 years.
Exactly.
What would you say is as you come into camp number 14? What do you love most about that? When you're a player, maybe it's sort of a grind. I imagine for the players, you're licking your chops for these opportunities.
Yeah, I mean it's a grind as a coach as well, but it's just the eternal optimism. Like, no matter what happened last year, this is a fresh start, clean slate. Let's see what we can do, and let's go for it. With a new group of guys that hopefully come with that same level of optimism and hope. So every year is a new opportunity. So it's a chance to go again and see what we can do.
And I think a testament to what you've done. Just had Ethan on, and he talked about as a kid growing up here, he always wanted to be a Lumberjacks. So talk about that culture that you've built, and a place where guys want to come and they want to compete.
Yeah, I mean, when there are local guys, obviously we want to do that, and we've had a history of that with some really quality guys from the local community that have done it. And Ethan and Isaiah are just the next generation of those guys, and the next opportunity for that. It's such a close-knit community that when we do have those opportunities of guys like Ethan and Isaiah that have the ability to come impact, it's such a big deal for the community to see one of their own out there on the field and competing for the program. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for him, but I think more importantly for us, it's an opportunity for us to connect with the community a little bit more as well. So yeah, I mean, we're excited for both of them, excited to see both of them having success, and hopefully it's something that we can build together.
An extra week of camp this year, which has got to be nice. What do you want to accomplish with that extra week of having these, guys being quote unquote, as some of the coaches like to say, they get to be pros for, 2 weeks because they don't have to worry about class and a lot of the other stuff. How do you try to take advantage of that extra time?
A few more, team building things that are a little less physically demanding for them, a few more opportunities for them to hang out together and do that stuff, but also us to space things out a little bit more and hopefully get to that first game with a little bit more in the tank and not drain it out of them so much over the course of those 2 weeks. So yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunities for cool things. We're planning to go rafting later in the week.
Nice.
And do a few other things along those lines. So it's a good opportunity for them to connect on the team level, the personal level, and not so much time pressure. It makes things a little bit easier. If you got some contacts in the NCAA, can make this a permanent thing, that'd be great.
I'll get it right on the phone, and I'm sure I can make that happen. It seems Ethan talked about how well the guys get along, but maybe easier said than done. How important is it the group of guys you bring together mesh as a unit and can be friends?
Yeah. I think it's one of the things that I've learned over time at Humboldt because of our location, because of where most of these guys come from. It is way more important, I think, here than any of the other schools that I've worked at. It's just a lot of time in buses and vans and planes together, and if they don't get along together, it really impacts the experience that they have, how they go out on the field together and how they approach it. So finding the right kids and then also creating the right vibe and the right culture within that team is such a huge point of contention for whether or not they're going to have a good season or not. And so, yeah, it's a big deal for us.
What do you think is going to be the most important thing for the Jacks and success and what you guys are looking to do for this campaign?
Yeah, I think that connection is a big one. We have 9 new guys. So getting those guys to fit in and be part of the team and understand what it takes, and then overcoming all those hurdles, the difficulties of travel, the difficulties of coming back and reloading and playing again the next week, and all those things that it takes, the grind that goes along with being part of Humboldt, but also the grind of competing in the CCA, which I think it's a no-brainer. It's far and away the most difficult conference in the country. As far as men's soccer is concerned, but yeah, the difficulties that come from that as well, and developing the mental toughness to keep coming week after week after week to keep working in that direction. So hopefully they got it. I mean, it's been positive so far. The guys came in and fit, and they're working hard, and everybody seems to have a great attitude so far. So I'm optimistic and hopeful. We got some good young players to add into the mix, and returning a good core. So optimistic.
Yeah, and you guys are hitting it running. School starts next week. You got games and then the CC2A. But Fred will be catching up and talking all year, and I'll hit you up about the World Cup the next time we get together.
Sounds great. Look forward to it.
Coach Fred Jungemann right here, Humboldt All-Axess. See you next week.